Hi everyone, I'm Andrea and this is Knowing Yoga. Welcome to class 8 of the Beginning Yoga series. Today's class is all about trusting yourself. So trusting ourselves is super important for taking risks, being vulnerable, opening ourselves up to love, living life fully, and also making choices from a place of trust and self-love versus from a place of fear, which will really just drain all of our energy. So let's kind of move through this journey on the mat, try some new things, take some risks, open ourselves up, and then end with a meditation to let go of judgments that get in the way of our self-trust and self-love. And then let's try and carry that with us throughout the day and take it off the mat as well. I'm so glad you're joining me in your beginning yoga journey. Please leave comments. Let me know how it's going for you. Let me know if you have any questions. We can really create a community of support here for everyone. So let's get started. Okay, everyone, let's get started. We are going to center ourselves, ground ourselves, really try and quiet the mind and the body throughout this practice so that we can focus in on our internal compass, which we definitely need to trust ourselves. Okay, so let's bring hands to heart center and draw your eye gaze down, or you can close your eyes if that feels better. And just really focus on your two sits bones, like pressing into the earth, the ground supporting us completely, and lengthening the spine so that the crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling. And just taking a few centering breaths here, letting go of everything else that's on your mind right now. Coming into this moment, into this breath. Just listening to the breath move in and out of the body. When you're ready, open your eyes or draw your eye gaze back up and find your easy pose again. So you may need to shift, you may need one foot up or one knee up, whatever works for you. We're going to start by opening the hips and stretching the back, the spine a little bit with gentle movements. So we're going to have our hands on our knees. We're just going to move to the left and then draw the shoulder blades forward. Chin comes up slightly, inhaling, and then exhaling. Belly pulls in, rounding the top of the spine. Inhale forward, exhale backwards. And you can make these circles as small as you like or as large as you like, whatever's working for you here. You can move the neck around more, get funky with it, whatever feels good for you. And let's reverse now. So you can start small, belly pulls in on the way back. Inhaling up, exhaling as we round back. And then the circles can get bigger as we move forward through them. Just an organic movement, whatever feels good for you. Awesome. All right, and from your easy pose, you can have blocks if you want on either side or just the floor, whatever is working for you. And let's place one hand on the floor. Feel the sits bones pressing into the earth, belly pulls in, and then lift the opposite arm up and over, feeling that stretch all along the side body. Eye gaze up at the elbow, feeling both sits bones grounding into the earth. The weight is evenly distributed between the two. Deep breaths here, exhaling on the way down. Moving over to the other side. Inhale up and over. Eye gaze up. Now, if that bothers your neck, you can bring your eye gaze down or straight forward. Whatever feels good for you. Use the hand on the earth or block for leverage to distribute the weight evenly between both sits bones so you really get that good side body stretch. Exhale, lower. Awesome. Let's move our blocks out of the way, and we are going to lay on our backs now. So I'm going to use my blanket as a little pillow for now. Feel free to do the same. So make your way down to the earth. And again, we're just going to warm up the spine, warm up the hips. So spread the feet mat width distance apart, toes pointing towards the back of the mat. Hands can be at your side or on your belly. And we're just going to slowly start to windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Moving with the breath, inhaling one way, exhaling the other way. Then you can reverse that. So inhale the opposite way, exhale the other way, finding your own rhythm, your own pace. Awesome. Let's meet back in center. From here, we're going to do a little bit of a hip opening stretch. I'm going to grab my strap. If you don't have a strap at home, you can most definitely use a towel or whatever will draw around and allow you to grab onto. So what we're going to do is take the strap through your left leg. You can hold on to it. And then you're going to take your right leg and bring it up and over the left. So the right ankle is on the left knee. And this is a great stretch for some people. For some of us, this stretches the lower back. It opens the hip. If you want a little bit more, engage the belly, right? Belly pulls into the spine and lift that left knee up. So if you have the flexibility, just reach around and grab the back of the leg. But if not, keep those elbows on the floor and just pull the strap. And if you want a deeper stretch, you can extend that left leg. And just take a couple of deep breaths here, really deeply breathing into your belly, quieting the mind, breathing into any tension, exhaling that tension out of the body. Awesome job. All right, let's switch it up. So strap comes to the other leg if you're using the strap, and if not, that's fine too. And then the left leg comes up and over, right? And you can stay here for as long as you like or the entire time. You're in the posture right here. This is our reclined pigeon pose. And if you want to intensify the stretch or you're feeling good, just lift that leg up. Bringing that right leg to a 90-degree bend. You can point the toes or flex them or just relax or do ankle circles, whatever's feeling good for you here. If you want, you can grab the back of that leg, whatever's feeling good for you. You can straighten that leg. And now let's just breathe here. Scanning the body for tension, breathing into that tension, and then exhaling it out of the body. Awesome job. And now we release. So moving your strap out of the way, and then maybe just extending the legs, arms overhead, full body stretch. And then we're going to roll over onto our bellies. So coming in this way. And then moving the blanket out of the way, if that works for you. And we're just slowly pushing up to our tabletop position. Now remember, if your knees are achy, go ahead and bring a blanket underneath the knees. That's fine too. All right, so coming into tabletop, we're just really gonna find our foundation here, listening to our body. So pressing tops of the feet into the earth, pressing the fingertips into the earth. In the base of each finger as well, the knuckles. And then expanding the collarbones, widening the collarbones, shoulders pulling away from the ear, belly pulls in, just feeling some strength here. And then let's do some cat-cows. So inhale up, head up, tailbone up, exhale, round, belly pulls in, pressing into the earth with all points of contact. Inhale up, gently. Exhale, lower, rounding. Inhale, arching the back. Exhale, round. Awesome job. And from here, let's widen the knees and come into the child's pose of your choice. Just a quick child's pose. So again, you can have blanket between hips and heels, and then a block under the forehead if that feels good. And just really stretch it out, reaching through the fingertips here. Breathing deep into the belly, feeling the belly expand as you inhale and contract as you exhale. Awesome job. And then from here, we're going to come back into our tabletop, and we're going to go into just a low lunge, but if you need some blocks to kind of raise you up a little bit as you bring the foot through, use those blocks. You can even bring the hands out to the side to move the foot through. So whatever works good for you. You can have your blocks by your side. So keeping the foot forward in front of the knee just a little bit, because we're going to lean forward, but let's keep the knee over the ankle. And now from here, we're going to press the top of the back foot into the earth, hands on hips, and let's right foot forward, engage the left glute, and then the lower ribs pull back, getting a nice quad stretch on the left leg. So hands can remain at hips, pulling the inner thighs together for balance. So trusting ourselves here to do something different and new. You can kind of play around and just bend back and forth and noticing what that feels like for you. All right, let's take the right leg back and the left leg forward. So again, the knee is behind or on top of the foot. So from here, pressing both feet into the earth, engage the right glute, lower ribs come in towards the back of the body, feeling a nice quad stretch on the right side. Take a couple of breaths here. If you're getting the quad stretch here, you can keep the hands down, whatever's working for you. Couple of breaths here. Awesome job. Let's go ahead and come back to our tabletop position. So there we are, already doing something new, having to trust ourselves, feels good. Let's tuck the toes under and then send the hips back to the heels, just getting a nice calf stretch, bottoms of the feet stretch. And from here, you can do another child's pose and then meet us in a standing forward fold, or you can come through down dog with me. So again, pressing the hands out, pressing the fingertips and knuckles into the earth. And then on your next exhale, lift the hips up. And then from here, lifting the hips up higher, belly pulls into the spine. Lifting out of the shoulders, pressing the balls of the feet and the fingertips into the earth. Hi, Simon. Deep breaths here. And then as you're ready, slowly walk the feet to the top of the mat. And again, you can have your blocks here if that feels good for you. Staying in your forward fold. Keep a slight bend in the knees, protecting the back. And then just move around here, finding what your body needs and listening to your body. Sometimes I like to do a squat here, releasing the lower back, the ankles, the knees. Let the head hang, shake the head, yes, no, side to side. You can do a little yoga cha-cha, moving the knees back and forth, opening up the hips. All right, now let's do keeping the knees slightly bent, belly pulls in. Inhale halfway up to a flat spine. And then exhale, lower again. and relax. All right, hands to hips, belly pulls in, shoulder blades pulling together in the back. Inhale up with the flat back. Eye gaze up between the eyebrows. Exhale, coming into our mountain posture. Great job. Take a couple of breaths here. Pressing down into the earth with our feet, lifting up through the body, lifting the crown of the head toward the ceiling. All right, let's go into our chair pose now. We're going to go in from hands on hips. So hands are on the hips, shifting the weight into the heels, pressing the feet down into the earth, leaning the hips back as if you're trying to sit in a chair. If this is where you're at, that's where you're at. We want to pull the belly and the lower ribs in, making sure we protect the back. And then sitting back as far as we can, like we're sitting in a chair, weight in the hips. And then when you're ready, lifting the chest up, lifting the arms up. And if that feels too intense, just stay right here and work your way into this at some point. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next year, whenever. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, arms float down. Good job. Awesome. All right, now we're going to try and trust ourselves a little bit more here doing a standing quad stretch. So it's a preparation for dancer's pose. So what we're going to do is come into our mountain posture. Really center yourself, extend the crown of the head. So rooting down in the feet, lifting up in the body. Awesome. All right, so now we're going to shift the weight into the left leg and really ground that left big toe into the earth. Squeeze the muscles to the bone on the left leg, engage the glute, and then belly pulls in. And we're going to take our right hand, like we're holding a tray, pizza tray maybe, and we're going to reach back for the inner arch of the right foot. This is the posture. You can stay right here and just relax. Now, if you need to hold on to a piece of furniture, then maybe get closer to it so you don't have to lean. If you want to take a strap, hello Simon, and wrap that around your foot, that's also a good way to do it. So put it around the foot and then shift the weight into the leg, the standing leg, and then holding onto the strap wherever feels good for you so that you get that quad stretch. All right, awesome job, guys. It's okay to stand next to a wall, next to a piece of furniture. It's okay to use a strap. You're in the posture wherever you're at. All right, let's switch legs. So finding our mountain pose. Deep breath here. And then shifting the weight into the right leg. So squeezing the muscles to the bone in that right leg. Slight micro bend in the knee. Plug the right big toe into the earth. Lift the left hand as if you're holding a tray. And then slowly reach back and grab the inner arch of that left foot. And here we are, just preparing for our dancer's pose, but also getting a nice stretch in the quad. So if you want to on this side too, use your strap and then just kind of play with that. Hand on hip, can put the hand up high, whatever feels good. You can actually move the arm, the hand to the opposite side of the foot just to see how that stretches the shoulder in a different way. If you fall out, get right back in. No big deal. And then slowly with control, release. All right, you got it. So let's face the side long way of the mat. Inhale, arms up overhead. We're going to take a giant 4 to 5 foot step across the mat and then turn our toes out to 45-degree angle. Inhale, arms out to a T position, palms up. Take a couple of breaths here, rooting into the earth. feeling some strength, feeling your internal core, trusting yourself here. And now bending in the knees, bending in the elbows, coming into our goddess posture. So feeling some strength, feeling some heat. Press the feet into the earth. Pull the lower ribs into the back body. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms lower. All right, let's point the toes in directly at the edge of the mat. And then hands to hips. So bring your blocks in front of you. If that feels good, we're going to come into a forward fold here. Actually, bring both, just in case. All right. Inhale, arms out wide. Engage the legs. Quads pulling up towards the belly. Belly pulls in. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold from the hip creases. Flat back. And then arms come down and just let the head hang. Whatever feels good here for you. Keep a little slight bend in the knees or a large bend. You can have the blocks on whatever height you need, whatever's feeling good. And now turn those toes back out to a 45-degree angle. We're just going to play around with some movement just to see how these stretches feel. So trust yourself a little bit. So bend in the left knee, lift the right toes up, and then switch. Just getting a different stretch, feeling what it's like. So maybe inhale, stretching, exhale, pressing back up to center. Inhale down, exhale, press up. Awesome job. And from here, just go into another forward fold. Again, whatever feels good for you. Hey, buddy, stole my blanket. He's always stealing my blanket. All right, and from here, in whatever way you want, we're going to lower down to the floor, coming back onto our knees. So we're going to do one more posture that kind of opens the heart and allows us to practice trusting ourselves. So coming into a kneeling position, knees are hip width distance apart. We're going to bring our blocks to either side of our heels. And then for some of you, this is where you're at today, and this is a posture and it feels good. So we're going to find our pockets in our imaginary, or find our hands and put them in our imaginary pockets. We're going to squeeze our inner thighs towards each other. Belly button pulls into the spine, lengthening through the crown of the head. Taking some deep breaths here. Engage the glutes, fill the quads, stretching and opening. Now, if you're comfortable here and your lower back is happy, we can open up a little bit more. So take your left hand and look back at it. Eye gaze back there. Take the left hand to the block. Shift the hips back up over the knees. And then pull the sternum up towards the ceiling. Taking a few breaths here. Squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. If you want a more intense stretch or opening, you can raise the right hand. Now to come out of this posture, good for trusting yourself, look back and then shift the weight back. Return the hand to the invisible pockets. Take another breath here and also bring that blanket in under the knees if that feels good. Deep breathing, never stop breathing. All right, so again, belly pulls in, inner thighs pulling towards each other, and then take the eye gaze back over the right shoulder, bringing the right hand to the block, and eye gaze up at the ceiling, shifting the hips over the knees, Pulling the sternum towards the ceiling, lifting up, maybe raising that hand. Breathing. Take the eye gaze back to the hand and then return hand to hip. Stay for a breath. Awesome job, guys. You trusted yourself. You did it. Even being right here in this posture is just trusting yourself that you can have the stamina to do this. You guys got this. All right, and from here, we are going to come into a child's pose. So stretching the hands out forward and then widening the knees or leaving the knees together. Just play around with it, whatever feels good for you. Take your blanket, if there's not a kitty on it, and you can put it underneath your hips. And then stretching out, reaching through the fingertips. Feeling the belly lower towards the floor with each inhale. You can pull that block in under your head. And you can relax the arms down, making it a little bit more of a restorative posture than active. Take a few deep breaths, really inhaling into the belly, feeling that full expansion. All right, and slowly making your way up in your own time, whatever way feels good for you. We're gonna stretch it out and be a little risky here. Trust ourselves to do something different with our stretching. So come into your easy pose and then extend your right leg out at a 45-degree angle and bring that left foot into the inner thigh of the right leg. You can have a block underneath this knee. You can have this knee bent up or a blanket under the knee to support it. We want a hamstring stretch, but we don't want pain, so a gentle stretch. All right, so from here, let's inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, square the shoulders over the foot, flex towards the face, and then begin to round, coming into our forehead to knee stretch, which isn't new. We've done this before. So bring the block in if that's what you need. You can bring it right here, whatever feels good. Taking a few breaths here, belly button pulling into the spine. And then extending the leg as much as comfortable. And then keeping that block here if that feels good, or removing it if it feels better, whatever feels good for you. So from this posture, we're going to take the right hand at a 45-degree angle and lean back. We're going to sweep this left hand over the foot, reaching up, getting our side body stretch. And then exhale over, sweep both arms. Now left hand comes to 45-degree angle. Right arm comes up and over. So let's sweep and breathe. Inhale up. Exhale, lower and sweep. Whatever feels good here for you, find your rhythm. One more on this side. Awesome. Coming back to center, let's switch out the legs. And then inhale, arms up overhead, flex that left foot back towards the face. Square the shoulders over the toes. And exhale, rounding down into our forehead to knee connection. Again, bring that block underneath the right knee if that feels good. Bending up the left leg as much as you need to make a connection, even if the connection is between the forehead and the block. Breathing here, never stop breathing. Exhale and just kind of lift up, get your hamstring stretch here. Awesome. All right. And let's sway again. So let's take the left hand back to the 45-degree angle. Sweep the right hand over the toes and up over the head. And then exhale, move, sweeping the arms. Inhale up. And then just move at your own rhythm now. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sweep. Couple more. Awesome. And let's meet back in center. We're going to finish with our bound angle stretch. So soles of the feet together, blocks under the knees if that feels good. Hands can be on the shins, on the ankles, at the tops of the feet. So we're going to inhale, extending the spine. Exhale, begin to round over, belly button pulls in. And just relaxing here, focusing on the breath. Really turning on the rest and digest part of our nervous system right here. Bringing a sense of calm to the body. And when you're ready, slowly round up one vertebrae at a time, stacking up. Then we're going to come to our Shavasana. Bring a bolster in under your knees, a blanket under your head, whatever makes it feel good to you. When you get down here, you may bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Just take your time, finding what feels good. And in the end, just meeting us in a Shavasana. Taking a minute to just really sink into the earth with each exhale. Relaxing the legs, the toes, the belly, the hips, the back, the shoulders, the arms, and the fingers. Relaxing the jaw. Just breathing and resting the body. Eye gaze can lower, or eyes can close, whatever feels safe. Now you can stay in Shavasana for guided meditation, or you can come up to a seated meditation posture, whatever feels good for you. If you're coming up, roll over onto the right side and pause here for a breath before making your way up to seated. You're more than welcome to stay in Shavasana. We're just going to do a short guided meditation. focused on letting go of judgments. So if you're sitting or laying, whatever feels good to you, find a relaxed, supported posture. And tune in to the breath, following the breath in and out of the nose. Nice and slow, deep breathing. And allow any thoughts or judgments that surface during the practice to come back up. So these thoughts may have been, I'm not flexible enough, I'll never get this, I can't make that shape with my body. Whatever comes up, just really let it surface and allow it to arise and then float it away. You can visualize placing each of those thoughts on a cloud. And with each exhale, the exhale takes the cloud further and further away from you until it reaches the horizon and disappears altogether. So we can let a judgment come up, label it as a judgment, and let it go. We don't have to attach to it or engage it. So we'll practice now with any thoughts that come up, judgments or just regular thoughts, any distractions. Allowing thoughts to come up, placing them on clouds, and floating them away. Maybe the same thought or judgment comes up repeatedly. That's okay. Continue to put it on that cloud and float it away. Just because we have a thought doesn't mean we have to engage it. All right, and watching all those clouds float to the horizon and disappear, come back to your breath. Following the inhale and exhale. Feeling the points of contact between your body and the floor. Maybe bringing some movement to the fingers and toes, wiggling them. When you're ready, float the eyes open, flutter the eyelids open. And if you're lying down in Shavasana, rolling over to your side, staying there, press pause as long as you like on the video. And then slowly making your way up to a seated position. I'll give you a moment. You guys did awesome today. Really tried some new things. Let yourself be vulnerable, but also listen to your body and take care of yourself. That's where we start to trust ourselves, is knowing what's right for us, letting go of judgments. So we're going to finish with a quote and then one more breath all together. All right, our quote for today: follow your instincts. That's where true wisdom manifests itself. Oprah Winfrey. Really practice following your instincts today, tomorrow. Take this with you off the mat. Trust your gut. All right, let's finish with a breath. Arms out to the side, sealing in all that hard work, all the positive energy you created. Inhale, arms up overhead, biggest breath of the day. Exhale, hands to heart center. Slight bow, give yourself a smile. Thank you for practicing with me today. Let me know how your journey's going. The light in me acknowledges and salutes the light in each of you. Namaste.